Los Angeles, California, specifically Santa Monica, California. I'm Cody Decker. That's Tanya Ray Fox.
Tanya.
I said it. This is the
swear to
regulars.
God.
What?
I swear to after all this time.
I've heard it both ways.
That's insanity.
I've heard it both ways.
You just got, what did you get, stage fright or something?
No.
You got nervous?
Not
You couldn't
really.
say my name correctly?
I always say your name is
You haven't
Tanya
said
or Tanya.
No, you have not said Tanya.
I go back and forth when I feel like the mood suits me.
You have not said Tanya
The mood
since
suited
that
me?
first time where I corrected you in third person.
The mood suited me,
No, you
and
can't.
I've heard it both ways.
All right, Cotty.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. I see what you're trying to do, and it's a lovely attempt. And even you, I can see it in your face.
No,
even you don't feel good about it.
I feel really good about it. I'm not going to lie.
You know what? There is a name you could have thrown. Okay, Corey. See, that would work. That happens often. You drop a Tony on me. It's like whenever I call.
Tony?
No, seriously. If I call and order food, it's a nightmare.
They never understand Cody because it could be, because the O and the Y could be anything.
Hey, I just want to get myself a Chinese chicken wrap. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Great. What's the name? Cody. Tony? Cody. Corey? Cody. Kobe? Yes. I'll be there.
That's actually,
I'll be there
that
in
makes a
minute.
lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I get called Tara when people forget or mishear
See,
it.
I just mispronounce a vowel mildly.
I don't like how often people think that that's like not as big of a deal as it is. Like, it literally doesn't sound like my name when
There
you say
shouldn't
it.
be as many people named Tanya then.
There aren't that
There
many.
are plenty of people named Tanya.
There's one that I can think of off the top of my head.
Boom, nailed that. You can think of
Tanya
one.
Tucker. That's it.
Well,
What else you got? Do you know a Tanya?
Tanya Ray Fox.
No. I am dead serious.
All right, fine. I will never mess it up again, and if I do, you know what we'll do?
What?
We will have a punishment set on the show.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I will buy a bottle of Vegemite. And we have to come up with something similar for you as well.
Okay.
It's like our swear jar.
Okay.
So every time we fuck it up, you have to take a spoonful of Vegemite and eat the Vegemite.
Ooh.
That way, do you want me to learn?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I didn't know I had to train you like a dog, but I'm down.
And then now we just have to figure out what your fuck up is, and we'll get there.
There is none.
No.
I am perfect.
We will find one.
How dare you?
How was your week?
It was pretty good. Like I told you earlier, I'm finally not sick. So, that
Yeah.
we are both at an age where we are older than we look.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it, but our bodies remind us regularly.
I took the day off from the gym today, which I don't normally do because it's like the one thing that like the reason I know I'm as healthy as I am is because I do work out
Exactly.
a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I'm working out enough properly. Like I gotta up that cardio a little bit because
I don't know, dude.
No,
I
know
see
it.
the gym Instagrams.
Well, it's beauty and glamour shots. I'm not always showing you when I'm failing.
Okay.
I do fail often in there, but when I'm succeeding,
Sure.
you guys are gonna find out when Daddy succeeds. But no, it's just more one of those things that I woke up last night late. I was telling you what happened. I had an old man acid reflux moment where it stayed right there in my thyroid, and I was in so much pain for hours. I didn't get back to sleep from 1 a.m. till about 5 a.m. And 5 a.m. I did get back to sleep for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it was a brutal night. Skipped the gym, just kind of stayed in, just worked all day.
Did you think you were having a heart attack? Because sometimes that happens.
I thought I because of the location and the burning sensation, I thought I gave myself an accidental tracheotomy.
Like you were like, how did I puncture my trachea?
I thought at some point I was going to look like that woman in those old cigarette commercials where she's smoking out of her tracheotomy.
Oh God,
spot.
that's so gross.
Like, it could be worse.
No.
It could be worse, toots. I don't think she said toots, but I remember her saying toots.
She said toots sort of theoretically. It just makes sense.
Those people.
I'm really glad you survived that.
Me too. It was brutal, but yeah, it ended up ruining my whole day of exercise.
Yeah, so we're fine. It takes me a week and a half to recover from a cold. You're getting acid reflux out of nowhere. Everything's fine.
I think the worst part, I think it was just mango that did it to me.
Mango?
I think it was just mango that did it to me.
That's insane. Is mango even that acidic? I guess it's a fruit,
I'm just an old man. How about that?
That's fine.
I need to have more oranges. It's good for my ulcer. It's who I've become.
So sorry.
I've become Saul from fucking Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Well, should we get to the sports of it all?
We might as well.
Can I ask you one question before we get to our first headline?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been watching any of the WBC?
I've only been seeing highlights. I haven't been able to sit and watch a game. But I did see, I wanted to tell you, I almost put it in the rundown, but I couldn't quite make it work. There's a lot of heat on Team USA right now.
You mean specifically for Mark DeRosa not knowing the rules?
It's
been my number one topic on my show every day this week.
Yeah, so I know that you're not, I'm so glad you're already doing content on it. But also just the way the Team USA is handling things, like being
awful,
weirdly over the top, confident, like shit talking.
It's been arrogance.
It's been
to
bizarre.
It's been all over the top arrogant. It's been
Yeah.
very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Tonight's gonna be interesting. They're playing Canada.
I know.
Canada's not slouches, and I don't know if they don't seem to like us right now.
No, no.
So-
Canada as a nation and everything they do,
I would
is
say.
very, very anti-America in a
would
way
say.
that they never have been before.
Michelle, I would say this. I would really, really say this. This would be like the one time that Canada would really get us back. Like, think about it. We beat them
in
in
their
all
sport.
of their sports, including the World Series last
Yeah.
year. But we've won the last couple, Stanley
Yeah.
Cups from them. We've won now the Olympic gold from them. We took curling from them. If they can come out and full on take baseball from us tonight, it would be a pretty sweet victory.
I think at this point, you know what? Do it. I'm
Do
ready
it.
for. I want Japan and the Dominican.
That's what I want too.
That like they're the most
By the
fun
way,
teams.
I do think they're the two best teams as well, but I'm worried about Japan. They got to take on Venezuela, and they are a tough team too.
I just think the Dominican Republic team is so fun.
They're so fun.
They're like Dominican.
so fun.
Dominican baseball inject it into my veins.
It's amazing.
They're everything that they're the best part of the MLB and they're the best part of the World Baseball Classic. So.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's a vibe, dude.
It's a vibe.
A full-on vibe.
You can't explain it. It's like Anthony Edwards. It's just you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
You know it when someone has the vibe. Dominican baseball has a vibe. We do not. Decidedly do not. So you know what?
Well,
Canada.
You know who apparently doesn't have a vibe despite scoring an 83-point game? I can't believe I'm saying this. Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
Headline number
scored.
1. Bam Adebayo gets 83 points, Tanya.
83.
And everyone is furious.
Totally normal reaction from totally regular fans that definitely like basketball.
Yeah, I listen. I'll admit I was not watching the game live because
Okay.
I don't find myself usually.
You don't watch Heat Wizards?
I don't go out of
on a
my way
Tuesday
to
night or
watch
whatever-
the
or whatever it is?
Wizards or the Heat, especially this Wizards.
The Tuesday night Heat Wizards game that everyone was definitely watching before they started
But
talking
when I
shit.
got the alert,
Yeah.
I quadruple checked it on my phone,
Oh
going,
yeah. I was in the middle of talking to
Mr.
someone.
Wilson?
I was literally in the middle of a voice note conversation with someone, and in the middle of it, he was like, "It's dead serious conversation. We're like having a real serious." He was like, "What the fuck?" And like long pause. He's like, "Bam Adebayo scored 83 points," and then so he's delivering the news to me in the middle of this like voice note, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So then I go look. I'm like, "This is really cool." It never crosses my mind to be like, well, that's lame that someone like Bam scored 83 points. My first thought, because I like sports, was like, that's so fucking cool. I really like Bam. He's a great player. He's a defensive player of the year, vote getter every single year. He's been on he's been to finals. Like this guy is like awesome. Great. Love it. Did I expect it? No. But like, wow, can't wait to kind of catch up on what's been happening. Watch everything, watch all the highlights, watch all the game, like, whatever. And it turns out that people are incredibly mad that atop the all-time list of single game scorers is Wilt at 100.
Yes.
And now Bam Adebayo at 83, right above
Kobe
your
at 81.
dear beloved saint, Kobe Bryant at 81.
Let's slow down
Now,
a tick.
we love Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Of course, all time.
Sure.
Love Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Kobe's 81-point game. We mostly remember it because it was in
legendary.
2006. Like, we're around for it.
Toronto Raptors. Never forget
Iconic. The incredible Toronto Raptors.
Was not their best year.
And also, it wasn't the Lakers' best year. They lost in the first round of the Suns that year.
I also remember that.
Not a great team, but great performance. And I think that those things can exist simultaneously because that was 20 years ago. And records and achievements are broken in sports.
Happens all the time.
It happens. People are not super happy about it. There's a lot of discussion around the idea of ethical basketball. What is ethical? Is it bad for basketball that a player of Bam Adebayo's caliber, who's not like a top 20 player all time, has done this? And more importantly, Bam now had to. Both Bam and Eric Spoelstra had to get on a podium and say, like, I don't care that you're mad at me for scoring 83 points. I had 62 through 3 quarters. Like, of course I was going to try to score more points and get over 80. Like, anybody on the planet should want to do that. Anybody on the planet should want to do that. Sorry. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not sorry. Spoelstra was like, I'm not apologizing to anybody. So, Cody, this is my question.
Yes.
What is ethical basketball?
I have no idea.
Try to guess.
What is ethical basketball? And
Sure.
try to guess. I'm going to guess that ethical basketball is when the team is really beat, you need to somehow pull back. Basically, it would be the basketball version of the unwritten rules in baseball. Oh, you're up by a lot? Well, we can't run up the score anymore. Oh, we're down by a lot? Well, you can't show emotion if you do something good because that would be bad.
Well, you would think that.
Then what is it?
It's that part of it is like, oh, well, they were trying to foul to get Bam some more possessions at the end to get over 81.
So?
They are mad at that. But the thing they're actually the most mad about is that Bam scored a lot of his points on free throws. And the idea around ethical basketball is that somehow it's less impressive to draw all those fouls and score all those free throws than to have a higher field goal percentage like Kobe did.
Jesus Christ. Well, one, for the record, there is a merit argument here somewhat. Because in Kobe's game, he did not have that. I'll admit, 35 points at the line is a lot of points to get at the line.
36, I think.
Really, even 36. I thought it was 35. So 36 at the
I
line.
have it in front of me.
But here's the deal. That is an incredible amount. Kobe had 18 at the line. I believe he was 18 for 20 in his game. And I do remember famously after the game, he was annoyed that he missed his 2 free throws because at the time he was on this big old streak on free throw makes. He made like an outrageous amount of free throws in a row at that point in the year. And then funny in the game where he scores 81 is the game that he doesn't successfully make all his free throws. That being said, I mean, so what should we take away Kobe's 17 points as well? Kobe, by the way, had like 65 points going into the fourth quarter of that game. Should they have pulled Kobe?
I'd also like to point out, just for the record, not only do we not have to talk about Kobe, we shouldn't have had to until he was brought into it.
What does that have to do with it?
But Kobe took 46 shots from the
field. Yes, he did. He was, 23 for 46 or something like that?
He had a high percentage. I think he was shooting about 60% from the field. Like, he was hot. But he was shooting Kobe has 3 of the highest shot attempt field goal attempt games in the history of the NBA. Like, that was kind of what he did. So, you find different ways. My point has always been you don't get to 80 points in a game unless there are some stat padding things happening.
No
You're
question.
taking a lot of shots. You're somehow drawing a lot of fouls. That's literally the only way you do it because 80 points in a game requires such a volume of possession.
I agree. Can I just ask the burning question? This is the thing that just still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And you kind of hit on it earlier to me. And that was actually where I thought we were going to go. It's almost like the audacity that a player, and you used this word, the caliber of Bam did this.
Right.
That's actually where this whole thing
That's where everybody's
loses.
really mad.
I know, but this is actually where I'm the opposite. This is where everything loses me to a degree that I almost don't even want to talk about it because this is the argument you have. This player is not of the caliber of your liking enough to do this. Who is then? So is LeBron of the caliber?
Yes.
Then who? My answer is who gives a shit? They're all pro NBA basketball players.
But LeBron hasn't done it. And Steph Curry hasn't done it. And James Harden hasn't done it. So what the fuck now?
And here's the other thing. Who fucking cares?
I don't know.
It's a great night for one player that, as far as I can tell, and anything I've heard about him, is kind of universally loved by everybody.
Great. Everyone loves Bam.
And, he very famously dates A'ja Wilson, who we all love A'ja Wilson. They're
Best
the
player
cutest.
in the WNBA.
They're like the cutest couple in the
them.
history of sports right now. They're not super loud, but they're at all these NBA events together. They're like great ambassadors for the league.
They're gorgeous, tall, they look like superheroes. Who could not love it?
I honestly, I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Kobe fan.
Yeah,
There's nothing about this that has shit to do with Kobe. That's why the whole Kobe argument didn't even matter. I'm just doing it to base some comparison.
Yeah,
But
sure.
people are honestly saying, how dare he break Kobe's record? What fucking record? Kobe doesn't have a record either.
Kobe doesn't have the record. Wilt has it. He didn't even break Wilt's
And he didn't
record.
break Wilt's record. So what the fuck is everyone's problem?
And
Great job, Bam. You had a good night.
Well, people started being like, the Mamba mentality is exactly what Bam did. So so they started calling it the Bamba mentality, which is very funny. That's pissing people off even more.
I know. It's just this is just people want to clutch their pearls and yell at clouds for no reason other than they can.
And I think there's a big just a hatred of the way the game is where the game is at right now. I just think that there is so much protecting of nostalgia and old legacies. We saw this when we were talking about LeBron versus Michael Jordan. We're talking about it now. We're like, if Kobe were alive, he'd be like, you guys, can you shut the fuck up? Like, this is embarrassing, right?
Jesus.
Like, Kobe would not be okay with this conversation. And then there's and this is the part that I've waded into, and you can tell me, like, what you think, but I just genuinely think a lot of people don't understand basketball anymore because the conversation around it is like this. We talked about this with the Shaq thing a little bit, where they're just not getting a lot of great basketball insight in like mainstream media.
No, and because so the conversation's all about the problems with the leagues.
Or like the shit that people are talking on social media. So instead of, as somebody who understands the game of basketball, I understand that like you don't just like, you can't just be hacked and fouled to 83 points. He drew the most fouls in the history of the NBA with those 43 calls, right? He drew. Part of that is because he was playing a Washington Wizards team that was hacking the fuck out of him. Like, that was their only defense. Sometimes you get the wrong player, the right player on the wrong night or whatever, and the Wizards had nothing. They just had nothing, and then they weren't even doubling him. They weren't tripling him until later in the game. The whole thing was a disaster. There were maybe 2 of those fouls. I watched every single one in a whole highlight. Maybe 2 of them. You could have been like, maybe they didn't whistle it. Otherwise, they were all good calls. And to me, it's like, so for you to insinuate that basketball, it's not real basketball, when the whole thing about getting fouled is that when you get fouled, it takes away a chance for you to score from the field. That's the whole point, right? So there's that aspect of it. But the other thing I want to offer you is that there have been 17 instances in the history of the NBA, both regular season and playoffs, where a player has drawn 30 or more foul calls.
Okay.
Or 30 or more shots. 17 times. Most of them are Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq. We've got some Dwight Howards in there. We got an Andre Drummond, a DeAndre Johnson. You know, the deal. We got a Giannis in there. Bob Cousy has the highest free throw percentage among those players who have taken 30 or more free throws in a game. That's 94%. Bam, out of those 17 times, his 84% shooting from the free throw line with 43 shots is the 4th highest among all of these. He shot 84% as a center from the line on 43 free throw attempts. To tell me that that's not insane am I wrong? Come on. A center making 84% of their shots on a 10 is impressive, let alone 43.
I don't understand what we're arguing about. That's this whole conversation makes almost, not me and you, the whole conversation in general.
I know.
The fact that we're even opening, I don't understand what the problem is. That's honestly my question.
Well, I think
I'm just kind of lost.
Yeah, because you're not on NBA social media. It's a nightmare, dude.
But I don't understand. But again, I've been seeing the discourse, but I don't understand what the problem is.
They don't understand basketball, or they don't like basketball.
That I can understand.
You either don't like basketball, and we can. That might be just our wrap up of the topic, which is if you have a problem with the BAM thing, if that's like really where you landed, you either don't like basketball or you don't understand it. They're the only 2 options. Pick a lane and figure out which one it is.
That makes sense to me because I truly don't comprehend what anyone's problem is.
Me neither.
That's just where I'm at. I'm hearing arguments being made that don't make sense to anything. It's people making arguments on why they're upset at life.
It's really very Kobe related because I added in here like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 35 points last in the Celtics game, so he passed Wilt for the longest 20-point scoring streak in NBA history. That's obviously a very old record. Wilt was a long time ago. No one cares because it's Wilt. No one cares that the Wilt record got broken, right? And they just don't care. It's so specific.
But no record has gotten broken. That's the thing.
This one was. This was an actual record being broken.
Well, yeah, Wilt's
and
record.
And no one cares.
But that's a record. Like right. What I'm going to just explain. Like, Bam didn't break anyone's record. Nothing.
He scored more than Kobe ever did in a single game.
But that's not a record.
And also, are we worried? Are we worried Kobe's legacy is being affected by Bam? No, of course not.
No, I don't understand what the problem is. I really just don't. The only thing I can come up. This is where you mentioned nostalgia. It must be because of nostalgia. I hope that if that's the case, that the NBA, which apparently has fallen into the old baseball problem, and the old baseball
It really
problem.
has.
Baseball has been something that's been so married to its past that it refused to move in the future, which is why, again, Rob Manfred gets a lot of shit when he deserves it. But I also give him a lot of credit because he's been the commissioner that's taken baseball out of the fucking dark ages.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to care less and less and less about these fucking records that don't matter.
Yeah.
This isn't even a record. This doesn't matter.
And I hope someday I do watch Wilts get broken, and I won't fucking care because records are made to be broken, and it happens all the time.
And I hope it's a fucking nobody that does it.
I hope it's Peyton Pritchard.
I hope it's Peyton Pritchard. I hope Peyton Pritchard does this so we can have a weird argument on, well, Peyton Pritchard isn't of the caliber to set a record, of which anyone that ever said that out loud, fucking slap yourself in the face. I don't know what to tell you. These are pro NBA players. They can all... Have you not watched White Mamba just fucking wipe the floor with the 4th Street gang over there in New York? Like, he wasn't even trying. He's 20 years out of shape, and he made mincemeat of all of these fucking shit talkers. You guys aren't even on the level of the shit talkers. You're just talking head assholes. Oh! Fuck!
And now that we've exercised that demon, we have time to kind of move along to discuss Kyler Murray signing as a Vikings quarterback.
I like the move.
We kind of saw this coming. We did discuss it a little bit. Just like give ourselves a pat on the back. We were discussing that this might happen. And it did, of course.
I like
the
the
big
move.
thing about it is Kyler grew up a Vikings fan. Like,
Which I did
legitimate
not know,
Vikings
by
fan.
the way.
A lot of people didn't know this.
Didn't know that.
You know, cried real tears during the 2009 championship game where they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Brett Favre let them down again. They deserved it. And
Yeah, but in hindsight, I find it hilarious.
oh, what do you mean?
Well, because Brett Favre failing.
That's what I'm saying. They deserve to lose.
Yeah, no, I love
Of
it. In
course.
hindsight, at the time, I was kind of rooting
The
for them to win.
Vikings-
It kind of was.
The Vikings
Now I look back at
signing
that.
Brett
as well.
Favre was like the karma was right there.
No,
Like, you
I
were-
agree.
Oh yeah, yeah. No.
But I was dumb enough to not pay attention to it at the time.
Sure.
And now I look
now
back
you're
going like, suck it.
You guys had one little window.
It was you guys had every opportunity and you couldn't even get it done there. Suck it.
The big thing is that they're trying to convince everybody that there's going to be a quarterback battle for that J.J. McCarthy is going to get a chance to compete with Kyler Murray for the starting job. The reality is that nobody believes that. Like literally no one around the league thinks that that's actually going to happen. It's the word was at the scouting combine. Everybody had made it clear from the Minnesota organization that they were looking for a veteran to like start. Like that this is like an open secret. That
Are you
really
surprised that
don't
they're calling
believe in
him
JJ.
a veteran now? I know he's been in the league for a couple of years, but
He's been in the league for 6 years, 7 years.
It's so wild. He doesn't give me that veteran
He was
vibe.
drafted in 2019.
Dear God, how the time. But yeah, we did COVID went through that. I feel like
Yeah.
we're all still children through those COVID years.
No, it did kind of throw things off, but he's been in the league for a minute. Like he is very much in the Sam Darnold. Like I mean, he was drafted like a year after Sam Darnold, I think. So the thing that's kind of on my mind at this point is I always was really high on Kyler Murray. I didn't like him as a person or anything, but his skill set is really, really, his ceiling is actually kind of crazy, and we've lost a little bit sight of that because the Cardinals have been bad. He's been hurt. They've had coaching changes, whatever else. Things have not worked out. But like he is one of those players where you get in that trap of being like, but he's so good. His ceiling's so good. And I've fallen into that trap a lot. I finally let it go over the last like season or two. Now he's on the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell. This like quarterback whisperer,
So they
incredible team builder. And all of a sudden it's creeping back into my brain. And it doesn't help that I open up TikTok and my favorite NFL analyst on TikTok is like, these guys are Super Bowl contenders if they have a healthy Kyler Murray. And I'm like, don't feed into my delusions. So, I mean, maybe you will bring me back down to earth a little bit, but I have a specific question for you, which is, are we looking at a potential Sam Darnold situation here with Kyler, who is not, we know isn't the same kind of leader, at least we haven't seen that from him yet, or, there's a couple other options here for veteran quarterbacks who move on after kind of failing with their original team. Daniel Jones, the sort of balls out as soon as he gets there and gets hurt. There's the Baker Mayfield, improves, gets them kind of back to playoff contention, but can't get over the hump of their own flaws. What do you feel like is the trajectory for somebody like Kyler Murray with the talent of Minnesota and the coaching of Kevin O'Connell?
Well, the talent of Minnesota is unquestionable. You got you got one of the best wide receivers of this generation over there in Minnesota.
And they've got
other ones too.
Jordan,
No, absolutely. This is
yeah.
a team that's ready to win. We've seen that the last couple of years. You saw what they did with Sam Darnold, and I like that you brought up Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. Coincidentally enough, both the Vikings had both of them at the exact same time, and they both go off and do what they did.
Yeah.
Leading to Daniel Jones this week signing his 2-year, $50 million a year deal, which is just staggering. And of course, Sam Darnold and all the success that he's had. We've watched what they have done with discarded toys. We saw what they've done with Kirk Cousins, now Sam Darnold, and obviously I already mentioned the aforementioned Daniel Jones. If he could stay healthy, do I want to go as far as saying a Super Bowl contender? Listen, if you're a team that can make the playoffs, you're a Super Bowl contender right now. We learned that last year. We learned that completely last year. If you can make the playoffs, you're a Super Bowl contender. There is no big bad wolf right now. That door is open.
Unless the Chiefs somehow make their way back into
Unless the Chiefs make their way back, or if the Seahawks continue and they become the new big bad wolf, which by the way,
lost pieces.
Which they did. Yeah. Kenneth Walker III's already out the door.
And other players. Yeah.
So listen, it's not impossible, but I'm not going to pretend that they might have taken a step back.
Yeah.
I think this league is open at the moment. We just saw the 49ers get better with their moves. We just saw Pittsburgh get better with their moves, even though I have no idea who's going to throw for them. This Kyler Murray move is very intriguing. The other question is, though, I just want to remind you, Detroit's going to be better than they were last year. Green Bay, are they going to be back to their form? I don't see the Bears taking a step back.
I actually think the Bears are the biggest problem in that division.
I think so too. I don't think the Bears are taking a step back at all.
That division is really, it's that division. The NFC West and the NFC North are like formidable, but at least in the NFC West, you have the Cardinals, who it appears are going to take a step back.
But the other three teams,
the other three are juggernauts. Every team in the NFC North is a guaranteed above 500 team.
Yes.
Unless something goes horribly wrong.
And it's going to be interesting to watch them cannibalize each other next year.
And that is a part of it. But Kyler Murray has been playing in the NFC West, so it's not new to him to have to repeatedly play playoff teams over and over again.
True. But my other thought is simply this, and I'm interested, and I do think this team can be very good. If you can get into the playoffs, yeah, they're a Super Bowl contender. But man, I'm interested to see what O'Connell can do with a player and quarterback specifically with that skill set of a Kyler Murray. Because I do think we have forgotten. I think the narratives have taken over. Oh, bad teammate, scrubs his IG, doesn't watch film. Every time Call of Duty comes out, we know all those things. But I've also watched Kyler Murray single-handedly beat teams and come back and beat teams. Not just with his arm, but I've seen him do it with his legs as well.
There is no better scrambler runner. I think people don't understand because nobody watches Cardinals games.
Yes.
And so you think you've been paying attention to Kyler Murray because you might have seen him on NFL, on Red Zone here and there. I've watched a lot more Kyler Murray.
So have I.
Chris is a Cardinals fan, whatever. And
He is?
Yeah. Well, he's from Arizona.
Jesus.
He's more of a Patriots fan at this point for understandable reasons. But we've watched a lot of Kyler, and the way he can move, if you imagine how incredible Lamar Jackson is, all those times where we see, he just eludes contact when he's healthy. Kyler Murray does that, but he's even faster and smaller. So it's even harder to get that little motherfucker now. Is he a little bit more reckless? Is he as good of a passer? No. Does he have an arm like a god? He's got a Michael Vick arm. I mean, this dude, he's so small. I don't even know how he gets the ball out like he does. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, where you're just I've seen him throw the ball 80 air yards. I swear to God, it's gone 80 air yards and with a flick of a wrist. The talent they have, the Minnesota Vikings have not had that level of actual just pure athletic talent. Let's leave everything out. We don't know how he's going to be behind center in terms of the mentals and everything else. Just pure physical talent. They have not had someone of that caliber in a minute. Not even Sam Darnold.
You're right. No, and none of them can move it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Am I going to call him a Super Bowl contender right now?
No.
Because they added a player that's been hurt quite a bit over the last few years? No, I'm not doing that. But partially is also because of what that division looks like. Yeah. As of right now, I have no reason not to pencil them last in their division still, which, by the way, doesn't mean they're not going to be really good.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at that division.
Well,
Kyler Murray doesn't do it for me.
They're the biggest unknown entity, and I think it's smart to always look at it and be like, listen, we know Jordan Love and the Packers and their head coach. We know that Detroit's. We know what the deal is in Chicago.
Yes.
So when you have a new entity in some way, shape, or form at a starting quarterback position, we have to give them a little bit of side eye. However, it is really it's fascinating, and I didn't think I was going to be excited about where Kyler landed.
Excited about it.
But like, there's a few teams I always like. Well, the Vikings are great too because they're always signing some quarterback to like go play there and get them to a playoff in a single season. So it's kind of fun.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go to headline number 3, and this one is fascinating. Listen, I don't know if you've been watching some great, sweet internet videos about Operation Epic Fury. Yeah, pew, pew, pew. It's 2008. It's like old Carl's Jr. commercials. Oh, rad, bro. Fuck. Anyways, they used a lot of footage that they did not get permission for. I'll give an example.
They never do, by the way.
They never do.
These motherfuckers have never gotten permission to use a single bit of footage in their lives.
And good on you, immediately, Ben Stiller, for coming out and saying, no, you will not use our footage from Tropic Thunder as your propaganda.
They tried to use Tropic Thunder?
Yes, they did.
Did they not? Wait, hold on. They did not know the absolute, like...
The point of Tropic Thunder?
Oh, my God, that's so embarrassing. You tried to use a movie about war propaganda, making fun of it.
Tanya, this is an administration that still thinks that Born in the USA is a pro-America song.
At the very least, people are at least dumb enough to like not listen to the lyrics of Born in the USA. So I'll give them credit for that. They're like, people who don't listen, fine. But
you expect them to understand nuance of film?
Tropic Thunder isn't nuanced.
I mean,
it is so overt.
Oh, wow. It's very overt, but to these people, it's so overt that it's almost covert.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Tropic Thunder was in there. But there was also a bunch of NFL footage. And good on you, NFL, for having not even the backbone or spine of 5'6" Ben Stiller. They have said absolutely nothing about it, despite being asked questions about it. But I do appreciate that certain NFL players that were used in the package did have the spine to come out and say something about it. And when you have players and ex-players, and especially, say, someone of a legend of a Ray Lewis coming out and saying something while the NFL stays quite silent, I don't know if that's telling. I don't know what it's telling, but it's a problem.
Well, it's, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed are the kinds of players. So it was Baltimore players who were used in the package. It was specifically a Baltimore Ravens game, and so it was those two and then a couple of other players that were in the package that came out. And I mean, we're talking about two of the most famous NFL players of all time. These are first ballot Hall of Famers, two of the greatest defenders of all time, iconic 2000s players. Genuinely, you could not get bigger names that aren't actually playing in the league right now to talk about. And they both came out along with their teammates and overtly, it wasn't just like, hey, don't use this. They made a full-on statement. We are not okay with you using this as footage for a bombing campaign. We're out. They just named that's what I found fascinating about this was they named exactly what they were not okay with. And Ed Reed has spoken out against Trump before, but we very rarely see players of that caliber, athletes of that caliber, from the NFL specifically, take hardline stances in a political sense. Ed Reed is one of the people who does. So I'll give him credit for that. He called out Drew Brees when Drew Brees talks shit about Colin Kaepernick. He's kind of on that shit. He's about that life.
Good.
So that's not new. But for the rest of the players to follow suit, whether it's because they followed Ed Reed's example or not, is big. And I think the thing that I took away from this the most was that we're kind of entering territory now where if players from the NFL are coming out and saying so this is a deeply unpopular war already. It's already from polls, it's one of the most it is the most unpopular polled war in the history of the country. Nobody's on board with this. To the point where now even NFL players are perfectly willing to come out and be like, yeah, don't use our shit. We're not cool with you starting a war, bombing these people. Absolutely fucking not. The NFL tries very, very hard to not get involved, and they're trying very hard right now. They're saying no to anybody reaching out asking for comment, but I try not to be too optimistic of that there's going to be a turning point or a tipping point in terms of players starting to be I'm drawing a line on sticking to sports. But I've not really. I got to be honest, there have been plenty of times where Trump has crossed the line talking about the NFL or involving the NFL in conversations, especially during the Colin Kaepernick thing.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of players are perfectly willing to let it slide. They were really not this time. And that's just unique from the NFL.
It's a start. It's a start. That's all I can say. I don't know what to make of it yet. I'm not going to give the NFL any credit. I'm going to give
I'm
these
not giving the NFL
I'm
any
going to
credit.
give the
I'm
individual
talking about
people.
players.
I very much appreciate the ones that have spoken out, and I hope they speak out more, and I hope more active players speak out because they have a platform to do so for this time being. And if they're being used in propaganda film, this is how you should be speaking out. I can't stress this enough. If there's ever a time to be speaking out, it's that.
Well, and that's the thing is like,
my God,
how many? I think that I like it because I think the NFL. I think the Trump White House thinks that the NFL was like a safe space for them because they are so conservative. The owners are conservative, right? So like they were like, we could at least use the NFL. Maybe we can't use Ariana Grande videos or whatever. Like they've tried to use everything. They've tried, and everybody's always like, no, except for Taylor Swift. She never says shit, but that's neither here nor there. But like I feel like they're like, we could use NFL footage. That's a good old American. Nope, that's not going to work either. That's kind of big, regardless of whether the NFL responds or not. Well, fucking shock they didn't. But to be like absolutely fucking face pounded by Ed Reed and Ray Lewis is pretty iconic. Whether it leads to anything else, I'm just glad they got fucking embarrassed by two dudes that they will never go up against.
Yeah, I do like that, but I can't stress this enough. And again, I know we always get into this, politics and sports need to be separate. If they're not separate, they've never been separate. They never will be separate. I have been used as a political tool in a sporting event before. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you other than this has been happening for thousands of years. I'm going to say that again. Thousands of years. Sports are used as political tools for thousands of years. And now
You going back to the Coliseum?
I'm going back to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Thousands of years. American sports is no better than the Coliseum when it comes to this.
No.
Get it out of your head. Just pay attention to what is literally directly in front of your face.
Yeah. No, I mean, I am glad to see that there's a little bit of pushback. That's all. I just love when let's be honest, I love when Trump thinks he's doing something. And everybody's like, bro, no.
Well, keep going to the Paul brothers, see how that works for you, because it ain't fucking working.
Yeah.
None of this is working, and I'm loving that it's
so
not working.
We have to take a little bit of delight where we can in the deliciousness of Trump showing his ass. And I just think I would be so embarrassed if it was like Ed Reed and Ray Lewis specifically.
I love that Ed Reed and Ray Lewis are showing that our commander-in-chief, who thinks he's playing chess, has actually been playing a terrible game of Hungry Hippos. And it's been fucking amazing.
He is somehow losing solitaire to himself.
Yes, it's astonishing. Speaking of solitaire.
Yeah, speaking of somebody who just absolutely ruins everything by himself.
And speaking of solitary.
Yeah. Stephen A.
Remember
Smith.
he did the solitaire app? Remember? That was good.
No.
It was a huge controversy just like 2 months ago. The solitary app, when he brought in Mina Kimes and all the people, they all got in trouble for doing like a scam app.
Oh, when they like put the ads out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a deep cut.
That was not a deep cut.
That was a deep cut.
It's not a deep cut.
Well, I mean, the viewers can tell us, the chat can tell us if they know what
not
that
a deep cut. Anyways, yes, continue.
What's not a deep cut is the WNBA needing to get a deal done in the CBA talks, which we know about. But here's the fucking thing that pisses me off is Stephen A. Smith had a lot to say about the WNBA. Off the top, you don't watch the WNBA. We know you don't watch it. We know you have no idea what's going on. But
we know how terrified you are of women, especially strong women. God forbid you're ever in the room with one as you sit there and piss your pants.
He's also not exclusively ignorant to the WNBA. He has no idea what's going on in any league, but specifically, don't talk about women. Actually, you should not be allowed to talk about anything going on with women, like you said, considering you absolutely fucking hate them at every single turn. I have no problem on its face with the idea of Stephen A. Smith on First Take or whatever else deciding to have a segment about this. It's a big news story. That would be fine.
Yes.
Get into a conversation, say your fucking piece. That's not what he did.
Nope.
What Stephen A. Smith did was do this appeal, direct-to-camera appeal to, an appeal is kind. It was really a fucking demand.
Shill is what it was.
It was really a demand to Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, to the WNBA itself and the WNBPA, the women's union. Y'all better not fuck this up. Y'all better not fuck this up. This is what he's saying. He's saying F. All of your efforts are in danger of going right out the window if a season is interrupted. As much work as y'all have put in, as wonderful and marvelous as you have been collectively as a league, The growth and the maturation that has taken place, you're in danger of messing it up. Make no mistake about it. Major League Baseball cancels the World Series. It may have been never recovered had it not been for Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire chasing Roger Maris' single-season home run record. And do you know what they had the benefit of? History. Something historical to lean on. The WNBA don't have that. You can afford a lockout, a strike, any kind of interruption whatsoever. You can't. Y'all better get all your shit together. Get a deal done. I would like to, just before you respond, number one, point out that was not a conversation. That was a directive from the mouthpiece of the league that airs WNBA games. I don't know, Cody. I'm just going to ask you, as a human being who covers sports, does that sound like maybe a little bit of a conflict to you or no?
Yes.
Wow. That is a shock. That's an absolute shock that Stephen A. Smith is doing the bidding of the actual network that airs these games rather than having a normal segment about
Interesting. I didn't hear anything in there demanding about the WNBA getting their shit together, correct?
No.
In his little piece, that was directly only at the women basketball players, correct?
It was also to Kathy.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of it was really just telling them all to get their shit together so that they could air games on his network. And I personally, I don't appreciate the insinuation that the WNBA players don't have the kind of leverage that
they got a lot of leverage.
That Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa had when they were doing that. That's how they revived. Yeah, you're right. That is how they revived baseball. And then they had an entire era of people who didn't make the fucking Hall of Fame because they were doing steroids to fix your league.
Yeah, I seem to remember fucking congressional hearings that took place shortly after those records were broken. I guess you forgot about all that. I guess you forgot about the Balco scandal. I guess you forgot about the biogenicide scandal. I forgot. It's amazing. But, we didn't have history on their side to remember that, right? It only happened fucking 15 years ago. But don't worry about it. That's neither here nor there. The women NBA players have an unprecedented situation in front of them to help generations, not the current players, but generations of players coming forward. This is honestly the most important moment and consequential moment in WNBA players' history to this point, quite frankly. And it will dedicate and decide the absolute future of the game and possibly the sport itself. So for you to sit here saying, all you ladies need to get your things done, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm glad that you're getting on your knees for corporate daddy. Shut the fuck up. No one respects you or likes you. Shut the fuck up. Have a great day.
And I'm glad you got that off your chest. I feel like sometimes I know where things are going, and I knew where this one was going to go. And the corporate shill couldn't, and especially, oh my God, Cody, then he posts, he's like, I don't agree. He goes, I don't go with either side politically.
You've never been in a sports union, right? You know what sports unions are for? Do you know what that strike was for? Have you done any fucking research on any of this? Like fucking any of it?
No.
Just checking. Because I have. Fucking Google. Google exists. It's right fucking there.
And it would be one thing if this bad point he made, just a horrible, misinformed point about how CBA talks and negotiations go, about their leverage, about the history of CBA talks, if all of it was fucking wrong, that would be one thing. You're having a conversation with whoever it is on your first take panel, and you give them a chance to banter back and forth, to counter whatever it is you're saying, or agree with it for whatever, right? But that's not what he fucking did. And that's from the media angle of this that really pisses me off, is that there was no conversation. There was no presenting of another side of this. There was no, hey, let's talk about exactly what is at stake here, not just for these players, but for future generations. Let's talk about the history of CBAs. No, God forbid we allow any sort of context to enter this, because that's not what Stephen A. Smith was there to do. He was there to deliver a message directly from the offices of not only ESPN, but Disney itself. That's what all he was there to do. And he gets on television to, with all of this bravado, like we can't tell that there is a corporate hand up his ass. Puppetry. You are a puppet. And the idea that nobody can tell is a fucking joke. And like, I am definitely at the point now where it's like, everybody's like, you can't take Stephen A. Smith seriously. You can't blah, blah, blah. Actually, unfortunately, and this is the part that pisses me off the most, this kind of stuff, him being the face of ESPN and the mouthpiece of their executive direction is actually an issue. And so another thing that I hate, and that's why I put this in here, is people being like, don't even worry about Stephen A. Smith. He's a clown. Nobody takes him seriously. I fucking promise you, there are not corporations as big as Disney and ESPN paying somebody the amount of money he has when people don't take him seriously. And that is why it's worth talking about. I'm so tired of people telling me that I don't know who actually has this kind of power in media. Yes, a bunch of us understand he's a fucking tool.
We are well aware.
We always understood Bill O'Reilly and all of these other motherfuckers were tool.
Yep.
We know Sean Hannity is a fucking tool. And guess what? He has swung elections. So don't tell me that this isn't consequential, because it fucking is. And now I'm done yelling.
Yes. I don't know what to tell you. The idiots have inherited the world and the media right now. It's actually quite staggering. We used to be informed, and now it's actually beneficial to be lacking information. And that's it's infuriating in the sports world, and especially, listen, I've never been that guy that said, well, you have to have played to be able to talk about it. I've never been that guy. I'm okay with you not playing to a bit, but it helps
well,
to have
I hope so, because you did a podcast with me.
Yeah, but it helps to have perspective.
Sure.
It's good to get perspective.
Right. And whether that perspective is as a player or somebody who's worked a lot with players and talked to them about these things. Yeah.
Like, you have no perspective on this, and your only perspective on this is simply, you ladies need to get it done. Fuck you. How about that? Just fuck you. Fuck you.
Hey,
Go fuck off and fuck you.
Or they could just start doing steroids.
You know what? They can do steroids. You know what? It'll be because Asia Wilson did steroids. And she'll bring them back. There you go. Everyone will be happy because we'll chase a record that everyone fucking cares about. Fuck off.
Asia Wilson, steroid, 83-point game, incoming. Let's fucking go. Basketball is saved.
Exhausting. Exhausting.
You know, it's really actually kind of great that we were able to tie in MLB, because our next topic is actually baseball. Every once in a while, I like to tie in a little bit of fun baseball stuff for you, Cody. Baseball. That's how much I care about you as a co-host.
Thank you.
I want to get baseball in there for you.
Baseball. That's fun.
Yes, and Bob Costas, your favorite.
God damn it! I want to start by saying this. Wait, before people get the wrong idea.
I did this on purpose.
Before people get the wrong idea, I don't dislike Bob Costas.
You just hate that he's so old and out of touch.
I don't like that he's that old and out of touch. Bob Costas is a legend. I'm not going to pretend that Bob Costas is not a marvel and a legend. If we were to make one of the Mount Rushmores of broadcasters, we're putting Bob on there.
Okay.
I appreciate everything Bob's done for the industry.
Okay.
Bob needed to retire 20 years ago. That's not a knock on him.
20. I mean, like, give him 10.
Okay, fine, 10 years ago. Okay. And I appreciate when I occasionally see Bob come up, but I do not enjoy Bob calling baseball games anymore, because Bob has been so removed from what baseball is now that it's not even nostalgia. He's announcing a dead game.
Couldn't agree more. I genuinely, I'm
That's
not
my
kidding.
problem.
I genuinely agree with you. I do like Bob Costas when he muses about sports in a broader sense.
I would agree with that.
He does think about sports. He actually is one of the few old school broadcasters who kind of thinks about, like, what could we do that's interesting and different?
Yes.
And even though he is out of touch as far as a game caller is concerned, he actually pretty frequently kind of broaches these topics in a way that nobody else his age is doing, and that even people our age aren't doing. And he has an idea, and so I don't know. It caught my eye. I'm going to run it by you.
Let's hear it.
And we're going to play it out.
I'm listening.
In a conversation with YouTuber Brody Brazil this week, Costas, first of all, that's why I love this. He went on a YouTube show. This guy just wants to talk about sports. I love it. Costas argued that Major League Baseball games should find a way to let fans hear their local broadcasters during national games. His example was Tom Hamilton, who's been calling Cleveland baseball for more than 3 decades,
kind of a legend,
widely considered one of the best local voices in the sport. He said if you put Tom Hamilton on a national broadcast and he got just as excited, it would sound weird, but it's perfect on its own terms. So what Costas is proposing isn't an alternate feed so much as it's local voices calling the game over the network's pictures with the same commercials running on both so that the network isn't losing revenue. He laid out the same framework a couple years ago to Mike Francesa. and argued then that the answer to the national versus local debate wasn't to change how national broadcasts work, but to give fans both options. They could put their voices in real time over the pictures the network is providing, and as long as the rating locally, which would be drained a little bit in both cities, as long as that could be added to the network's rating, and as long as they could play the same commercials so that the network wasn't hurt in terms of revenue, that would be a reasonable alternative for people to have. So that was 3 years ago he started saying this. He's still saying it.
Yes.
I want to know what you think about this idea, because it is wild. But ...
It's a lovely idea.
Is it lovely? Well, is it? I mean, do you even like the idea?
Fans do love hearing their local broadcasters,
Okay.
and I will admit there's a lot of local broadcasters that I firmly believe are better
Because
than national.
I don't think I've ever heard somebody be like, I love this national broadcast.
And that is fair.
Yeah.
But you know the truth
John
is,
Smoltz has never done it for me. Not gonna lie.
me neither. Never has.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's no universe that this ever happens. There just isn't. I hear it's going to come.
Now, just to be clear, that's what people used to say about like getting rid of like the shift.
Okay.
Right? Like,
But this is particular because now, especially, and if you really look at it now, it almost seems like there's a warring between networks right now because Fox now has their MLB team.
mm-hmm.
TNT has their MLB team.
NBC.
NBC has their MLB team.
Mm-hmm.
And now Netflix has their MLB team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like warring factions of baseball
Sure.
all over the place that all of a sudden, which is kind of a new thing.
No, you're right. That is new. It's much more like the NFL in that way.
Much
now.
more.
Yeah.
I think that's where MLB is looking to get to at the moment rather than the idea of spreading more things because they're not going to be spending money on these TV packages and putting together these TV teams that they want to end up. They're trying to basically create inside the NBA in each one of these networks. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create a team that has a chemistry that you can't ignore. Not unlike, even though I know you're not a fan of Jeter's work on there, but the Fox crew, you love A-Rod and Poppy together.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty damn good crew that they have.
I think
together over
I do think it's a good desk. I do think that they could do better than Jeter there, but like it's not. He doesn't ruin it for
No,
me.
he does not.
Yeah.
But I understand what they're going for
Yeah.
with it, and for me, it works.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what this NBC desk is because they got some pretty interesting guys on there. I think Joey Votto is going to do a killer job.
Yeah, it's very unproven. So
It's
like,
unproven,
you know,
though. I
and
don't know.
I'm always dubious about young. I mean, you
Which
get
we-
it.
by the
a
way,
young
which-
new athlete coming in.
Which we did learn, by the way, new is not always better. Remember when Apple TV launched their thing and they threw some people out there that
Yeah.
just were not untalented,
Green.
but just great. Like, for instance, Katie Nolan, very talented.
Yeah.
Just wasn't. I don't think that was really just for her. I
That
think
wasn't
it was,
her lane. She wasn't green. It just wasn't her lane.
It just wasn't
Yeah,
her lane,
yeah.
and it was an interesting try. And I'm like, and it just wasn't working for
Yeah.
me. And I don't think it was working for most people.
No, but I
it
mean,
was
the
a try.
player. Every time you bring up a former athlete in, and it's this sort of their first try at doing something like this.
Yeah.
You were a former athlete going into media. I guarantee you, if I look at your first year or two of doing media, radio, television, whatever it was that you started doing.
In fairness, I'd been doing this since I was 15.
I bet you were still worse.
I'm not that much different now.
I doubt it.
Really not.
You know
Very
what?
similar.
Should we pull up a little tape of each other?
We can
should
find
pull
it.
up a little tape of each other. I'll show you.
You're just gonna see like you used to look like that.
No, with the hair.
Yeah, hair. And that was a different.
I
looking
used to
cat.
have a Boston accent.
Oh, yeah. We got to pull up some old footage. of
Oh,
this.
dude,
We'll be doing
there's
this.
the Wicked Awesome Sports Show. I had it on Dedham Public Television.
Of course you did. Of course. Okay. We'll,
Yeah.
That might be a segment next
That
week.
could be really funny.
Let's open up the yearbook and see what it was like for us back in 2007.
Yeah. It was like 2011,
That's amazing.
but
That's
still,
some
yeah.
good stuff. But no, it's just, you know, I don't see a world where they're spending this much money on TV packages. And remember, we have a 3-year contract right now, so in 3 years
Yeah.
it's going to be re-upped again.
Sure.
I just don't see a world, and it almost seems like Major League Baseball is getting further and further away. You know, the ESPN deal that they have right now with the local market teams, and they've been having so much trouble with local markets. I don't know what the future of local market broadcasts are going to really be as far as that goes. And
But
it'll
you
be
need local
No,
markets
you
for
definitely
baseball.
need
That's,
it.
So, like,
but to put
you
it
don't
over
need
the national feed, I just don't see a universe.
I understand. So, like, the problem with baseball is you need local markets because there's too many games.
Agreed.
And unlike, like, you can consolidate all of the NFL games into national broadcasts. Like, you could never have a like local game again. It doesn't matter. But in baseball, you need it. So here's what I wonder. Like, my question for you is kind of just like, so you have this. I like this idea. You're diversifying what primetime national baseball looks like. You've got these multiple networks with these multiple teams. Great. But The issue is that, like, because there's so many games,
Yes.
like there's so many baseball games, that if the Indians, let's say, like the Guardians, if the Guardians are playing an NBC primetime game,
Yes.
Baseball's it's the only sport that's like this. There are a solid chunk of fans who will not listen to the broadcast.
I do know
they
that.
would rather turn on the radio.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think that group is larger than they make themselves out to be. Honestly, I need to see data on that, to be fair. Because I've been hearing this my whole life, and I have yet to actually meet somebody and show me that they're turning off the game.
To be fair, you live in Los Angeles.
That is, but I've also I've lived elsewhere as well.
New York.
I've lived in every city in this weird country. What are you talking about?
That's true. And you played baseball.
And I played in these games.
I forgot about that. You played baseball.
11 years professionally.
Oh, my God. I just remembered that.
11 years professionally. Yeah, it was... I don't know. Listen, it's
also,
a night.
were you ever in the Padres organization?
For 7 years.
Okay, so my mom was right. My mom was like, "Oh, my sister's going to a game with her boyfriend. The Red Sox are playing the Padres opening weekend."
Nice.
And she was like, "You gotta tell Cody." I was like, "Why would I tell Cody?" She's like, "The Padres."
Yeah. And I was a Red Sox too.
Oh, well, I know, but I was like, she was like, "He played for the Padres, like, in the Padres organization." I was like,
you see that jersey right there that says Decker and the Padre
Cody,
logo on it?
No, Cody. I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, he played for a bunch of teams."
There's a gigantic Padre logo right out there.
I'm giving myself shit.
It's a Padres stool right there.
Brother, I'm telling you, I'm a nightmare. My mother
Thank
was
God
like,
for Mama Fox.
I know. She's like, duh. And I was like, "Oh, he played for a bunch of teams."
And by the way, she's more mad at you than she is me for me calling you Tanya at the beginning of the show, because your name's not Tanya. Your name's Tanya Ray.
That's actually true.
And she wanted to make it abundantly clear. Her name is Tanya Ray. 2 exclamation points, by the way. 2.
Listen, you were in the shit list, but I think you're back out of it, and I'm back in it because
2.
I'm not gonna lie, I never noticed how much Padres stuff there was in here.
It's fucking everywhere.
And my mom noticed, and I did not. So I'm like, the whole thing, I just had to tell you that because I was like, I'm clearly not with the program.
Listen, the truth is, I don't hate the idea that Bob is saying.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world that it ever happens.
But what about Manning cast situation where, like, clearly they understand there is value to alternative viewing experiences, and we're talking about, by the way, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are the best, like, broadcasting duo among all of the, like, A teams that are calling NFL. And I hold a grudge against Joe Buck for saying, it was Smoltz. Smoltz, during a broadcast, called baseball a game of inches, and I've never forgiven him for it, because that's quite literally, like, a very specific term used in football.
Yes.
And now every time anything happens that's, like, even a close play, I look at Chris and I'm like, game of inches, Chris. It's like, in baseball, is so funny. But if they're gonna do an alternative broadcast to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, like, there's obviously maybe a little bit of wiggle room here. If you're using it on the same network, if there is, like, you know what I mean?
There is probably wiggle room. I don't see a world, because I think those networks are just
going to happen.
I think the networks are just as happy when people are bitching about their broadcasters as much as they're loving their broadcasters.
I don't trust, and this is where this is the only time I'm going to challenge you. This is one of the few times I'm going to challenge you on baseball.
Okay.
Which is that I think when people are too deep into baseball, there's a lot of, like, they'll never do it, and they've done a bunch of shit that everybody told me they'd never do.
Maybe they will do it. It's gotta have to be one of the networks that are doing this now that has to be the first through the wall, and then it has to be a success for the other networks to then jump in.
You'd also,
but I just don't see it happening.
You probably have to start with, like, the best local network broadcasters too. You'd have to start with the, like.
You mentioned San Diego.
Yeah.
Mudcat is one of the best in the game. Like, that crew is incredible.
Well, that's my guy from the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That crew right there. They're incredible.
I love him.
There.
Jerry Remy's old partner.
Phenomenal down there in San Diego. All right, let's go ahead and get off. Finally, stop talking about sports, and let's talk us over to Pop Culture Corner. And this one's a little interesting, and I'd like you to actually explain the story, because I'll give the quick little thing. Timothée Chalamet, who is very close to losing his Oscar, is just been on an interesting press run, and he's not doing himself any favors. Granted, the voting already happened before he said this one, but he went through a whole thing.
No, it didn't. He said
there was still more time in the voting?
There was a day left.
Ooh,
it was the last day of
that
voting.
might have cost him a couple of votes. He did say, talking while, I believe with Matthew McConaughey, correct? Talking about how he doesn't want to be a part of a dead art form, and he specifically cited opera and ballet.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting choice. That being said, it didn't really move my needle.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, I'm not looking to go to a ballet
it's
or opera.
Douchey. It's more
very
than anything,
pretentious.
It's
It's just
yeah.
a douchey thing to say.
And like kind of useless.
And again, you're just an actor.
Yeah.
Like chill
and you're
out.
talking to Matthew McConaughey. Like,
yeah, like okay, like
everything. Relax.
let's all just chill out. But like, it's not a big deal. But
the whole point of it was
but there's been
essentially
some
like,
backlash.
I don't want to have to be acting to nobody caring.
yeah,
right?
but also that could also piss off a lot of actors too, going like, this is an art form. Like it's not just
Well, I think that's what he was saying.
clout.
I think that's what he was saying was that this is an art form that could be dead if we like blah blah blah. Which is like it was just poorly executed. And again, I use Ben Affleck a lot of times as an example of somebody who's like very articulate, understands how to have these conversations, these concepts. Denzel Washington talks about this stuff a lot. Very good at talking about the art of acting and what acting means without sounding like a douchey fucking moron. And he just doesn't have it, but he wants to be them so bad. And so he comes across as a douche. Whether you think that it was an important point or not, I don't fucking care. I don't need you to hear. I don't need to hear defense of ballet or opera. Everything will be fine. But the better part of this story is that a juicy fun thing is happening, which is public celebrity beef. We have entered a world where there's so much social media and like media training that celebrities all dick suck each other constantly. They will not say shit. Everybody, the art of planting stories in tabloids and people talking shit and being over the top, because it's all gone because everybody's so accessible on social media and everybody's getting canceled all the time, that they don't talk shit. Not a problem Nathan Lane has, apparently, because he was on The View.
He's the best.
With all the best shit talkers in the world. And I was shocked by this, by the way. I came across this on TikTok and I was like, I can't not talk about this. He went in on Timothée Chalamet.
Yes, he did.
He did not hold back. Did you actually watch the video? Because I sent you
did.
the actual video. So I'm going to read you some choice quotes.
And they're great.
I'm going to read you some choice quotes. He starts out with, "Oh, what a schmuck." He's telling this to Whoopi Goldberg, who asked his thoughts about Chalamet. He goes, "No, one doesn't want to give this more attention than it deserves. And yet, it was kind of a kaleidoscope in its stupidity and insensitivity, yet strangely telling about where we are in this country. First of all, one should remember people who will be going to Swan Lake and La Traviata long after someone at a dinner party says, 'Who was Timothée Chalamet?' It's the show business circle of life." Then I realized, he's still promoting that movie, that endless ping pong movie. And I got news for Timmy. If you think nobody cares about opera and ballet, I can tell you how much we don't care about ping pong. And then he closed it all out with, "I'm thinking some weed was smoked before or during this. That may just be a tragic case of terribly unfunny people trying to be funny, which always ends in disaster." Just a fucking obliteration start to finish. Like, this was not him making a sly little comment. This was not him just being like, "Hey, I think Timmy was kind of douchey about it." He fucking absolutely eviscerated him. Cody, we do not have enough people in entertainment, celebrities doing cannibalism against their own. And I could not, I was ecstatic.
I love you, Nathan Lane.
I
always
love
loved
this
you.
man.
I will continue to love you. I still think you deserve an Oscar, and Hank Azaria too, for both of your performances in The Birdcage.
Birdcage, was it Hank Azaria was in The Birdcage too?
Oh yeah, he played the
oh, that's right.
Yeah, Agador.
Yeah.
Spartacus. Agador Spartacus. He prefers his full name.
Hank Azaria forever.
That fucking movie's amazing. Nathan Lane's the greatest. He gives amazing interviews. He's quite insightful. Broadway actor. Just the very best. The best. I don't know what to tell you. I agree with everything he said. I think he's funny.
Didn't it feel kind of like weird to see somebody go that in on one of the more famous like, I haven't seen this happen in a minute.
have a question for you. I really apologize for how I'm going to frame this. Yes, he's famous. Yes, Timothée Chalamet's a famous actor. Yeah, he's been nominated now for a couple of Oscars. Is he a movie star?
Yeah.
How?
He's the closest that we have.
But Why? Why is he a movie star? Because he's in movies? I can only think of one movie of his that to this point has been a financial success, and that is Dune Part 2.
What you're doing is like old man shit.
But that's
the fact of the matter is, anybody under the age of 40 is a movie star in a. We're talking about a relative scale because we don't have movie stars that we used to in the same way that we used to.
But we don't go to movies
Movies
anymore.
aren't the same way they were before because celebrity isn't what it used to be because
That is
it's
true
overly
too.
accessible. We don't have like the enigma of a superstar.
It's actually funny
anymore.
you say that. That's actually something that Denzel Washington said, and I believe it was advice that he was giving to Michael B. Jordan.
Tanya Ray Fox just said it.
Well, no, he gave advice specifically, I believe, to Michael B. Jordan. Was specifically about social media. He's like, get off social media.
Yeah.
And he explained why to get off social media. He's like, if you're giving them daily you for free, they're not paying a dime to see you on Saturday. And I understand that thought process.
But then there is because of the way social media is now and because it is a new generation, there is a downside to also removing your accessibility because people will lose interest in you at all. So you have to play a very specific game.
It's a very specific game. And by the way, this is not me knocking on Timothée Chalamet because I don't really care.
I don't fucking care.
Timothée Chalamet's fine.
Sure.
He's playing the game. We're talking about it. Nathan Lane's talking about him. I hate to say this, nothing matters anymore.
Yeah.
Everything that matters now is clicks.
Well,
it'll
be. I think if he wins the Oscar, it'll irk me because I never really wanted him to win it. But it's not like
I don't think he's gonna win it.
But I mean, unfortunately, the reality is, if you are a Hollywood producer, you can talk to your director. Your guy Joe. There's only so many names you can attach to a movie that are under the age of 40, 35 years old that are actual like names.
You're right.
And he's one of them. That is the definition at this point of movie star. It's not what it used to be, but like I guarantee you, if you talked to your guy, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's one of fucking 7 names, man."
I guess, but like think of this: like Chris Evans, you would think movie star, right? But if he's not playing Captain America, his movies don't make money.
No, but movies don't make money.
But, no, you're right. But then
you're like,
you have an outlier that does because you know what movies, what genre of movies really been killing it for the last
horror.
Horror's been having a resurgence.
It's mostly just Jordan Peele and then Sinners.
Oh no, there's more than that. There's the Blumhouses of the world. Like these movies are making money.
Yeah, but they're not making blockbuster.
No, but they're making money relative to what they're being made for.
Well, it's them and then like Pixar films like
I think we're gonna get. It's gonna be like the '70s. Hear me out on this.
Oh, I would love that.
I think that the movie industry is about to have another resurgence. It's cycles every decade to 2 decades and type of thing. Think of it this way. We had splashy musicals from the 40s to the 50s, right? And in the 60s, it kind of splashy musicals started to die out a little bit. You still had the Western that was still kind of dominating. And then sci-fi comes in. Now everything's sci-fi.
And there was noir that was coming in.
And then noir was kind of on the way out in the 50s, and everything got a little bit more splashy in the 60s. And then it got dark in the 70s and the 80s.
We started getting to like there was the Chinatowns and the Dog Day Afternoons happening
that was specifically in the 70s. 70s, everything got dark and gritty. And then the 80s, everything got splashy and ridiculous and over the top. The 90s kind of found that weird balance in between. Then
90s greatest blockbusters that we've ever done, and you cannot tell me. You cannot tell me any.
I mean, I will sit here and say that I got some news for all of you. Those of you that are wondering, 80s action icon Sly Stallone, if you think his best action movie was in the 80s, then you haven't watched Demolition Man with him and Wesley Snipes.
I like the one where he was where there was the professional arm wrestling.
That was in the 80s. It's over the top. It's a very unique movie. He plays Lincoln Hawk, where he arm wrestles to get, and wait for it, arm wrestles, and this is the plot, to get back custody of his son.
Yes.
Hard to make a movie like that in today's day and age.
Perfect film in my
Because
book.
back in the 80s, no one apparently knew how having children worked in the country.
But don't you think that the 90s had some of our best blockbusters?
Yes, I just mentioned Demolition Man.
Sure, but like, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Speed.
I mean, yeah, we had that. We had
Broken Arrow.
We had all the like Armageddon, all the space movies we started getting into. We started getting
Armageddon.
into all those.
Armageddon has its moments, but
the
you know
Will
what?
Smith ones, Independence Day.
Independence Day, I hate that movie, but
You don't like Independence Day?
Despise it.
¿Por qué?
It's because it's a bad movie.
No, it's not.
Go and watch it. It's not good.
No, what do you mean go and watch it?
And also, I got some bad news. Armageddon, also a bad movie. But there is a version of Armageddon I will watch 10 out of 10 times.
The
Have you
one where
watched
Ben Affleck is talking shit.
Ben Affleck's movie commentary while being drunk over this movie
So
is
are
the
you one of
funniest
those-
thing ever.
I don't like people who can't enjoy a movie on the merits of the
course I can.
of the absurdity of
Of course I can. I can. I absolutely can. No. I love terrible movies. I don't love terrible movies that are not trying to be terrible movies.
No, because that's not fair. Because Independence Day and Armageddon
I just
are
don't like
a
Independence Day.
specific type of like blockbuster film that is
Independence Day
supposed
takes
to be
itself very seriously.
unbelievable.
No, Independence Day takes itself quite seriously.
But that's the only way it's interesting is if it takes itself seriously and it's like it doesn't.
I think
all
it had
be
some.
parody.
I think it had very good visuals,
Give me
and
an
I thought
example of a blockbuster that takes itself seriously that is also cheesy that you
Die
like.
Hard.
See, that's not the same thing though.
How is
that's
that not
like
the same thing?
because it's on purpose.
What's on purpose?
Being kind
Die
of
Hard's not tongue-in-cheek at
ridiculous.
all.
It's being ridiculous on purpose.
Every action movie is ridiculous.
Right,
There's
that's
no,
my
There's no
point.
action movie ever made that's not ridiculous.
There's
It's
nothing.
just some are better
there
than
is
others.
nothing realistic about Die Hard, right?
No shit. In
Right.
fact, I believe there was a thing that did a counter of how many times John McClane should have died in the movie technically, and the answer was like 135 times.
So what's your issue with? So what's the difference between Die Hard, for example, which is obviously one of the great
Of course, it's a perfect
action
movie.
films.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis in his
John McTiernan,
prime.
amazing direction.
What's the difference between that?
Yes.
Let's say and Independence Day.
One's good.
Yes, I know. What
Character development.
because one's a much smaller movie. Like, of course, like one character development when you're in one building the whole time.
Tangible villains
Sure.
that aren't just like we're here and
So you
we're
don't-
scary.
So you don't
we're
like,
here and
you
we're
don't like
scary.
War of the Worlds or anything like that.
Well, War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds is a terrible movie. We don't get any villain in that. It just they end because we sneezed on them.
Yeah, but
That
like
was
that's
the
what I'm saying,
ending of
like,
that
you
movie.
just don't like alien invasion movies.
No, I love Alien. Good ones. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is fantastic.
Okay, can you do one that's been made in
E.T..
the last 30 fucking years?
Okay, it needs to be an alien movie in the last 30 years.
40 maybe?
Section 9 is fantastic.
I've never seen it.
It's a hard watch though. It's not. It's
E.T.
you're not
is
going for a
very
great.
good. But
E.T. is
it's not really an
incredible.
alien invasion movie. It's a that's in the vein of it's sort of in the vein
Lost
of
Dog Story.
Yeah,
It's like Homeward Bound.
Yes, yeah. It is an alien, but it's not. Yeah.
There's plenty of. I
love E.T..
There's a lot of good alien invasion
Elliot.
movies, but there's a lot of bad ones too. That's not.
Mm.
I'm not. I'm relatively pretentious, but I'm far less pretentious than I used to be when it comes to
Now,
cinema.
if you had to choose as an
Yes.
action star, like all-time action star,
All time.
yeah.
The best one.
No. If you had, if I'm gonna give you a couple,
Okay.
right? I'm gonna give you a couple to choose from, and you
I'm
have to
listening.
choose like who is the goat of action.
All right, and I'm gonna break down on why I'm gonna give the answer too.
Okay, so you've got Bruce Willis.
Okay.
You got
I'm gonna start. I'll give you my reasons on why he's not even gonna sniff near. He's gonna be the bottom of this list. I don't even care who's on the
Tom
list.
Cruise.
Yep.
Okay. We've got. Well, I mean, I don't want to go into sports movies, but I mean, I guess technically your boy, Demolition Man, is in
Sylvester
there.
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone is in
Okay.
there, right? There's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Of course.
Who else? Who else is it kind of in that
I
conversation?
mean, you could throw if you want to throw Van Damme in there, but he's
I
gonna be
don't.
very low.
I don't. So generally, this conversation I think boils down.
So those are your 4 action stars. Do you want? Can I throw an extra one in there that I think you're inadvertently
Mel
forgetting?
Gibson.
Believe it or not
Yeah,
a terrible
I know.
choice. But no, Keanu Reeves belongs on this list.
Yeah, he belongs on the list, but I mean, I don't know that there's an argument that you'd put him above Tom Cruise and Bruce Willis.
I'm absolutely
Well,
going
with
to
John
put him
Wick
above.
now.
I'm going to put him above 2 of those.
Is it
people.
because of John Wick?
It's because of John Wick. It's because of
That's
The
new.
Matrix. It's because of Johnny Mnemonic.
No,
it's
not
because
Johnny
of
Mnemonic.
Point
No,
Break.
No, you gotta do it. Pure. It's purely Matrix and John Wick related.
Okay, fine.
And
You gave me
Point Break.
4
And
Matrix
Point Break.
movies, Point Break.
Yes.
You gave me Terminal Velocity. You gave me Speed.
No,
Speed.
I'm not giving you Speed.
You're not giving me Speed.
I'm not giving you
That is
Speed.
one of the greatest action movies of all time.
I'm not
That's
giving you
Die
Speed.
Hard on a bus.
Because it's also Sandra Bullock. Because he's a co-lead. You cannot be a co-lead.
that movie made Sandra
You
Bullock.
cannot be a co-lead. So I'm giving you, like, I'm even giving you Matrix where he's a co-lead with someone else, but I'm
no,
not
he's
giving you.
not.
Yeah, he is with Samuel L. Jackson.
Boy, that is the worst thing you've ever said on this show.
What?
It's Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
And that is the worst thing that's ever happened.
God
on this
damn it.
show.
I'm so sorry, Larry. I love you.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Samuel L. Jackson's in every movie. That's just.
To be fair, he might have been somewhere in
just
there. Listen, he did 5. At this point, he's done 4 Matrix movies.
I think he turned down that role.
The man literally. No, who? You talking about?
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, actually, you know who turned down that role? It's going to shock you.
Who was it?
It was.
I'm glad we've stayed on topic. By the way, this is so funny.
The role of Morpheus was initially offered to, wait for it, Sean Connery.
Ew. I'm so glad it was.
Sean Connery is now the most legendary man of turning down the more money than any actor in the history of the world. You know, before he retired, the last movie he took for a reason. He turned down 2 movies in a row that would have paid him more money than his entire life combined.
I just thought of something. Go ahead.
He turned down the following: The Matrix to play Morpheus, and he turned down Gandalf in Lord of the Rings.
Honestly, for the best. I don't think he was. He would have been better.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. But
really
he turned them both down, and you know why he turned them down?
For The Rock?
He said he read the script, and he said he didn't understand them. So the next script he got that he didn't understand, he took it, and it was called
The Rock?
League of
No.
Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Wasn't his
and he retired immediately
No
after.
way, dude. We left Nicolas Cage out of.
We're going to continue to do that.
Okay. So you don't think it's Tom Cruise?
I think Tom Cruise. I think Bruce Willis, of the names you gave me, is at the bottom of that list. Because Bruce Willis, as much as he's done a couple of action films, I think we're really rose-coloring that because there was mostly just Die Hard movies.
So it's kind of like how Matt Damon with Bourne Identity.
Little bit.
Action, but...
Little bit.
Okay.
So Bruce is down there, although I will say Bruce is in the greatest action movie of all time.
Oh, great.
But he's there's just not enough volume of action movies.
Okay.
Tom Cruise, I will have above him. Mission Impossible movies, even though not all of them are action romps. I actually like the first movie where it's a great Jonathan Demme thriller.
Still action though.
There's some action
thriller,
and there's some great stuff in there. And obviously all the stuff he's done with Top Gun. But I outside of that, I kind of
he's done so many one-off action movies though. They are
like Oblivion, you know what's one of his action movies that is actually my favorite action movie of his, believe it or not. It's a movie called Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat.
I know it. Yeah.
Love that movie. Think it's one of his best movies.
So he's done a lot.
He has. So, but I have
and
there.
And then we're talking about some of the 80s stuff even was sort of crossover action.
Yeah, they were really action movies though.
They were crossover.
You're not giving me Speed, but you want me to give him Days of Thunder?
That's fair.
Thank you. Thank you. Then I'm going to go... It's going to come down, and then I'm going Keanu as the 3rd greatest action star of all time.
Third?
Okay.
2?
You got The Matrix, you got John Wick, you got Point Break.
You said that?
It's amazing.
Okay.
This is where it all comes down to. It goes down to Sly, and it goes down to Arnold. And that's just what it comes down to.
I don't like that only because neither of them are good actors.
Sly,
that's the problem I don't like.
I have a problem with what you just said. Sylvester Stallone has been nominated for 2 Academy Awards for Best Actor.
Sylvester Stallone,
one for Best Supporting Actor, one for Best Actor.
Some of the greatest performances in the history of cinema is Sylvester Stallone as Rocky.
He was also...
That's it.
That's not true. He gave one other performance that he should have been nominated for. Have you ever seen the movie Copland?
Yes. And that you're wrong. No.
He steals a movie with Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel.
First of all, I'm obsessed with Copland.
He steals it.
First of all, I'm obsessed with Copland, and I love him in it. He's amazing in it. He's not even the best actor in that movie.
He steals the movie.
I love him. I love that movie. No. But honestly, everybody watch Copland. It's fucking amazing.
I'm going to go with Arnold number 1, and I'm going to tell you why.
Not a good actor.
I didn't say he was a good actor. Don't care. The man starred in Terminator, Terminator 2, and the 2nd greatest action movie of all time, which is Predator. Predator is a perfect movie. Also,
I do like Predator. But
Commando is just, you want some of that thing that it's not supposed to be taken seriously? Go watch Commando.
No.
Yes, Last Action Hero is a movie. Actually, you know what? You know what movie you need to go watch? It's a movie that was so ahead of its time, it's frightening. Last Action Hero was the first meta movie ever made, and no one wanted to see it.
I don't know about that.
Go watch it.
First meta movie ever made.
Like truly
you
meta
really,
movie.
You think you think you're fully nailing
meta
that?
Before meta.
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to revisit the idea of whether or not someone has to be a good actor to also be at the top of this list. So I don't know. At least Bruce Willis can act. Like, come on.
So could Sly. He's been nominated for 2 Oscars.
I gave Sly credit. Is he great outside of Rocky? No. Is Rocky one of
John
the greatest
Rambo is great.
acting performances of all time? Absolutely, and that's okay.
First Blood. First Blood
Rambo
Part 2
is insane.
and then
I do love-
the fourth Rambo, which took place in Burma.
Listen, I love a
Those
good,
3 movies are phenomenal.
I love a good
Demolition Man.
Oh, we didn't even include Will Smith as an action.
You're right.
We fucked up.
We didn't.
We can't do this off the cuff.
We really can.
We need a goddamn rundown for all of these because
Bro,
we're
I'm putting
people are going to be
fucking-
yelling at us about forgetting Will Smith.
You're sitting here telling me Will Smith? I got so many people above Will Smith.
But I'm saying I just remembered for our lifetime, Will Smith has been in a lot more action movies than most actors.
Sure.
Yes. All of the Bad Boys movies are action movies, like right there off the top. Mission Impossible, all action movies.
You know what the truth is? I think I've written Will Smith off long before The Slap. You know what movie made me
Why would
say,
you write him off because of The Slap? The Slap was incredible.
It was not
The Slap was amazing.
No, it wasn't.
The Slap was iconic. Will Smith forever, slap him again.
Embarrassing thing I've ever seen
I loved
in my
it.
life. Embarrassing.
I loved it.
Embarrassing. No, my favorite, he starred in a movie that he ruined in a way that I will never forgive
Are you
him.
talking about Concussion?
No, that wasn't his fault. It's just a bad movie.
Okay.
I Am Legend.
I see you are kind of insufferable, and that's okay. You're an LA guy who's into film.
I Am Legend
get it, but like, my God, you're one
Had
of those.
the best ending, maybe.
That's
of
not
its
his
decade.
fault.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Who do you think changed that ending? Will Smith needs to be the hero. That Will Smith. This is Will Smith's doing.
Okay, counterpoint. Have you ever seen Hitch?
He is great in Hitch. He is great in Hitch. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not great in Hitch. The charisma is so off the charts. It's crazy.
I'm so glad we could land on a
I'm
good-
never going to sit here and say Will Smith is not a charisma magnet.
Okay.
Men in Black, are you kidding me?
saying.
Through
Tommy Lee Jones.
Through the roof charisma. Through the roof. But he fucked up I Am Legend, which,
Fine.
by the way, could have been a movie that would have got him in that Oscar that he wanted.
Yeah.
But instead,
I'm
he
not gonna
needed to
argue
be
with you
a
on that.
hero at the end, as opposed to being the monster that he actually was
I'm
in the
gonna
movie.
take your word for it that that's exactly what happened and that he was the one who made the call and that
You know it.
I just want you to know.
You know what you did, Will. You know you messed up. It's okay. It's okay to say it.
I'm so
Don't
glad
be
we're
like Mark
calling out.
DeRosa. You can say, I messed up. Don't be like Mark DeRosa.
Yeah, well, he has no idea who Mark DeRosa is.
I do, and he messed up too, and he won't admit it. You need to admit it. Don't be like Mark DeRosa.
Yeah, but do you have to admit it if you've made Hitch?
I mean, I think you'd have to admit it if you ever doctored a sock in a baseball game to pretend that you're a hero.
I don't think anyone's ever done that because all I ever remember is someone definitely getting a procedure and then having one of the greatest moments in the history of the ALCS and all of baseball.
I remember a clown going out there with some nail polish on his ankle.
Nail polish doesn't bleed. It doesn't spread like that.
I know. He put it directly on the sock.
No, it doesn't spread like that afterward.
He did it a lot. He painted it. Then
No,
fine.
we were
use
watching
paint.
it live on camera.
It wasn't spreading live on camera. It just wasn't there, and all of a sudden it was there. Get out of here.
I'm not gonna lie. The fact of the matter is, I can feel you already starting to lose the argument, which means we're gonna end it there. That
This
was an
is insane.
incredible episode.
Great episode. The bloody sock never happened. Next week, we're going to finally actually talk about the bloody sock, probably on Monday.
Also, do not cut, Mocha. If you swear to God, if you cut this off before I get to say my part of this, I'm gonna kill you because every time at the end he says the thing, then I say it, and then it's not in the episode. So, I just want to make it clear as we sign off. Subscribe, like, follow us. We are the regulars with Cody Decker and Tyne Ray Fox. And fuck Kurt Schilling.
Oh, fuck Kurt Schilling.